Hey guys, welcome back to another Wednesday con Weedma. Today we're going to be shooting a Get Ready With Me holiday edition look. So I paired all this together for a fun festive look for 2020, whether we're doing the quarantine or whether you're putting a small gathering and you want a little razzle dazzle, a little glitz, a little glam, and you want to look like a little something. Let's watch the video, let's get into it, and let's see what did I use to put this look together. Thank you as always for spending some of your Wednesday conmigo. As you can see, I already did one eye off camera, and I'm going to be recreating the other eye for the video. So I used 3 palettes. I used the Going Coconuts Color Pop palette, the Storybook Cosmetics Happily Ever After Robin Hood palette, and then I use the Morphe 24A Artist Path. This is the one with their Sweetie collaboration, and I had to use this one because unfortunately Ulta jacked up my order and did not send me my NYX Digital Glitch canister of green glitter, so I had to improvise with what I had, and I had to use the palm tree glitter color in that palette. However, as of right now, I am using the color Lovely Bunch from the Going Coconuts for my transition shade. I am now using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer because I wanna build. This is a buildable look, so I'm gonna put this all over my eye so that when I set a green matte shade, it's gonna have some nice color. And so I'm just lightly pressing that onto my eye and just making sure that it is as symmetrical as possible to the eye that's already been done. Cleaning off any excess and patting it in. Just making sure that I didn't wipe off any of that transition shade. Just going to go back in there and make sure that some color has been added. Again, we're looking for as symmetry as possible. So next I am patting on the color Merry Men from the Robin Hood palette and carving out that arch in my eye so that you can see distinctively where the green is and cleaning that out. It's looking a little patchy, but we're going to fix that. Don't worry. Again, I just want to make sure that I am carving out a space that is for my eye, for the color, so that it looks as close to the other eye that I've already done as possible. And I always clean like a little Kleenex or sometimes like a cotton round, just so I can clean off any excess or anything that needs to be taken care of that doesn't need me to like wipe off my entire look. Going back in with the transition shade so that I don't lose sight of that color and that halo effect that I want. Next, we're going to be using the NYX Glitter Primer. And this is what I'm going to apply all over the Merry Men shade. Patting it on lightly because I don't want to take off any of the eyeshadow color. That's not the effect that I want. So you don't want to like windshield wiper it. So just lightly pattering off. I haven't used this glitter per se, so I'm not sure what the outcome is going to be. So I definitely want to make sure that the primer is on. Take some water. Water breaks are important. Stay hydrated. Using the 24A brush that comes with the whole package, sprayed on some coconut setting spray because again, this eyeshadow glitter is very compact, so it's not going to be like a loose glitter that as soon as you tap it, no, you kind of have to like dig into it to get the color payoff. And a dry brush isn't just going to be helpful in that case. So as you can see, it pulled a lot of that color. And as you're applying glitter, you want to pat. Always pat onto the eyeshadow or to the eye. You don't want to windshield wiper it in that move, because you're going to have a whole bunch of fallout. That is the least that you want. You want the eyeshadow to be on the actual eye. So pack it on as tightly as you can, and which is why it was important to carve out that shape so that you know exactly where to place the glitter. And it isn't all over the eye. It's in that concentrated area. Woo! Say that like 9 times. Concentrated area. Finally. And then again, we're going to go over with our matte Merry Men shade to make sure that the shape that we've carved out is as even as possible and it doesn't get completely lost, especially the fact that I have hooded eyes. The illusion could be that I have less on one eye than the other, when in fact I may have, but the way that my eye closes doesn't look that way. So this, I placed the eyeliner from Tarte to do that eyeliner, and this technique I'm putting on the glue onto the eyeliner. It's easier for me to pop on these lashes that way. As you can see, I got it on my eye. It's harder for me when it's time to clean, so I always use a oil-based coconut oil type of remover balm, because the glue can get stuck to your eye. So it's easy to pop on the lash. It can be very difficult when it's time to clean. So just to keep that in mind, I'm using these So Hollywood lashes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I might have to retire these. Probably looking a little crusty. Time to get some new ones. Of course, I had dropped my glue, so you see me in distress. But here they are. And like I said, I put glue on the lashes and on my eyeliner, and it's just so easy for me to just pop them on without the use of tweezers. Like, the only time I'm going to use a tweezer is to just press them tighter on, but not necessarily having to use the tweezer to place them. I really, really like these lashes. I like the bend of them, so I definitely will invest in some more of them. And there you go. The lashes on. I completely forgot to put on mascara beforehand, so here I am just adding some to fuse my actual lashes with the falsies, and making sure everything is sticking like it needs to. There you have it. So next we're going to prime our face. I'm using the NYX pore filler, and I'm going to use it in the concentrated area of, like, from my nose to cheek. I'm like dropping so much today. Jeez Louise. But pressing it onto the face, not smearing it all over. This is like important because you want it to fill the pores. So smearing it back and forth, smearing any product is really just not smart for the investment that you're putting in. You're going to waste a lot of product. But you want to, like, definitely pat it into the face so that it can, like, sit and melt with your face. Using my Tula stick for the under eyes. This gives it a nice cooling effect, a nice brightening effect. I really, really love this product. And just continue to pat that pore filler in. This is my first time using the Milani, what's that thing called? A concealer. And this was really something that I really, really wanted to use. I'm using the shade Warm Beige 145. I've heard really great things about this product, about the Milani concealer, and I'm going to be using the Milani foundation. But I've heard really, really great things about it. And again, it was on sale, so I thought, why not? Let's go get it. So here I am using the wand that comes with it, concealing and pretty much trying to like highlight all the points of my face. And then with my sponge that was wet, I am going to pat that into the skin and blend it all out. Lightly tapping, you can just blend it all out. And I really, really love this sponge. I love the pointy part of it. Can get right up under those eyes. The flat part of it is helpful. But yeah, just you want to make sure that you're just blending it all out as as you can. And making it as even as you possibly can. Next, I'm going to go in back because I forgot that I wanted more coverage on my chin. And that happens. Sometimes you get a little spotty. And just blend that back out. I also tried to get colors that were close to my color. My winter color, it's quarantine and I'm light skinned right now. Like super, super light. I've gotten no color throughout the year. So when I did this was all online via Ulta. I tried to get it as light as possible to what my skin will be because I haven't changed color this year. I haven't really been out and about in these streets. So the foundation that I'm using, the concealer, Imperfect 2-in-1 foundation concealer, is the Sand Beige. And so a little trick that I just did is if you have any reservation about like whether a foundation is for you, do the inside of your arm check. It should be closer to what your skin excuse me, not your skin, because that is your skin, your face looks, especially since if you don't want to put something on your face directly, if you have sensitive skin, I always try to match it inside your arm. That gets less sun from your arm and is usually the truest color to your face. So if you see how it melts onto the inside of your arm, you can see the true color for your face as a helpful tool to match yourself. So that's something that I do that's helpful for me. And we're just going to blend this bad boy out. As we've applied it all over. But the foundation was very like creamy, really like lightweight. I didn't feel super heavy especially since it's like a very full coverage with the 2-in-1, right, with the concealer and the actual foundation. This was on sale again at Ulta. It was like $5.99. I think it's normally $9.99. So I was just like, let's take a chance. I like Milani's products. Make sure you drag that foundation down at your jawline for a seemingly even look. I like my foundation to look like skin. I know others like to have a different layer, but for me, I like my foundation to look like skin. Next, we're going to go with the Ciat London powder, coconut powder. And we are going to put them bad boys under our eyes. And this is our baking technique, so I like using my sponge for this. I feel like it picks up the product the way I want it to, where I want it to have it put. I like going from my nose, the side of my nose, to my eyes. I feel like this also helps me kind of cheat when it's time to do like a nose contour. I already have like an outline for myself. And I'm going down my jawline with this. And then I like to also place it on my forehead. I usually get very oily in that area, so this also helps as a mattifier. And just putting in all the product where it needs to go. Next, I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics contour brush and swoop that right under my cheek, making sure everything's nice and even, because you want it again to pick up and lift your cheek. You want it to pull those shadows and form that nice chiseled look. That's what is the bronzing powder is doing. Crown of my head, and I like to put it as close to my hairline as possible and then pull that into my forehead. And then, like I said before, because the powder is on, it's like a really good highlight, a really good outline as to where I need to put the bronzer. Right above the nose and carving that out. So you want to pull it up to your eyes, and then of course on the side, that's how you buff it out. And you want to buff in that bronzer into your cheeks, because it's going to mesh well when you put your blush, and it's going to have a nice, good, consistent look. You won't want to drag it anywhere further than where the powder is, because again, the whole point is to have a uplifted look. So next, we're going to just buff this and blur it out. I don't really want all the looks and the lines, so I'm trying to just buff it out to have it look as much natural as I possibly can. Moving it out, taking out the lines, making it look as nice and natural, without, of course, erasing all the work that you just did. And then taking my foundation brush, I am going to just, in circular motions, buff out that powder. And that way, because it's a foundation brush and it probably has some old foundation in it, you're not going to take away so much color. And it'll help out in that aspect. And then I switched it out for a smaller BH Cosmetics brush to get right up under the eye and sweep that off. And as well as on the forehead. And just making sure all excess powder is off, because you don't want that stark contrast. And you also want to be able to see that, okay, you didn't wipe off completely your contour. I'm also using the Milani Rose Powder Blush. It's the number 2 Floral Fantasy. I went with the darker colors, like a mauve color, firsthand, using my Real Techniques brush and circular motions up into my temple. Like, guys, I cannot stress this enough. You cannot fear the blush. Like, blush is such a dope cosmetic product. Like, please play with the blush. It's so pretty. It pulls it together so nicely. Like, blush is your friend. Like, come on, y'all too pretty to be playing around and being afraid of blush. Get with it. I love me a good blush. Right there on my nose. I like that rosy effect. I went back in with the middle color. It's like a tuned down mauve. So like the first one was like a high octane mauve. This one's more like a tuned down mauve. Let me just say, the packaging of Milani, like, I know it's drugstore, but it is bomb.com. Like, Milani don't miss. Like, I really, really like their products. Using my setting spray, setting that down, and locking that in. I need to get a little hand fan to help out. But that's for later. I always find something I need to buy. Like, I don't need to buy nothing else. I'm a fine fan, though. So I'm using the Juvia's Place Nefertiti loose highlighter. And no reason in particular. Like, I think I'm just trying to touch up on products that I haven't used in a while that I have. Because I stay buying something. So using my Anastasia brush, I am just in circular motions, placing the highlighter all where the light can touch and pull on. Right up on my nose, into my forehead, And of course, blending that in to the cheek and on my Cupid's bow. I love a good highlight. You see that? Beaming. Beaming. And that's exactly what I want. I want astronauts to see my highlight. Like, I want them to be in outer space and being like, yo, what is this shiny thing coming out of Philadelphia? It's me, sis. It's me. That's what's coming out of there. Making sure that I didn't lose my shape with my contour. Just going back in to give it that nice touch. But yeah, back to this highlight. Again, Santa ain't gonna miss out on giving me my gifts because he can see me. I did my hair off camera, and I'm using the Fenty Lip Stunner. I love this red. Like, this is one of my favorite red lipsticks. Like, and I have plenty. I love how it pulls through red. It's not like pinkish. It is red. There is no doubt that it's a red lipstick. I love that. And using the applicator, that's how I'm lining my lips. I'm not using a liner per se. Just using the actual product to be all of that encompassing. Yes, look, let's get into it. All right, guys, this is the final look, the product, everything that has been put together throughout this video for this fun holiday look. I'm definitely liking the payoff of that green glitter. And thank you so much for spending some of your Wednesday conmigo. I really appreciate it. And see you next Wednesday. Take care.